Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to talk about another one of my faction war clears that I have done a few days back, but I wanted to release it today, which is going to be tomorrow. I'm recording on Saturday, and that was about the Dark Elf Crypt. Honestly, I expected this one to be a little bit easy, but I did not expect it to be as easy as I actually thought. So if I just quickly pop in the background the recording of that run while what we're talking about, I'm going to show you that at the end of the day, you know what, you just need one champion. I'm not gonna lie. If you manage to get to the point where you get yourself Mistrala, let me just make it go a little bit faster. So if you manage to get yourself Mistrala, like this run's just about, you know, you won. That's it, because Mistrala brings so much for this faction that is just, she's just amazing. She brings so much survivability. She brings control with her petrify. As you can see, every time we get hit, boom, petrify, petrify, and that just makes it massive, especially for the waves. Like the first wave, it's a problem because of the martyrs. They can do the counter attack, increase defense. The Black Knight does increase defense and continuous heal, so it's a little bit of a problem, but Mistrala just does all of that. As you can see, most of the time they're petrified, they have poison, so everything works just fine. Everybody else in this team is, it does help. Like, we do have two rares in this team. One of them is Cold Heart, so hopefully you do have a Cold Heart, but if you do not have a Cold Heart, just any other DPS champions works. Like, maybe if you get an epic or a legendary that's a DPS, would be better than Cold Heart, because Cold Heart is really squishy, you know? So she does some good damage, she does some turn meter control on the A3, but she's so squishy, as you can see, she just dies most of the time. Then the next one, there was actually a massive help, and I feel like people underrate this champion a lot for faction war specifically, and that's Painkeeper, okay? So I have the Painkeeper at 5-star, and I run her in a Relentless plus Immortal, so she can heal herself a little bit with the Immortal and the Relentless, so that she gets back to her turns as often as possible, because the heal that she does on the A2 are just massive. Those heals are so good that honestly, even if I think that even if I did not have the Reviver and I just had somebody else in here for the control, I would still be able to do it as long as I rotated fast enough to Painkeeper's heals. Because look at that heal, almost half health heal for the Cold Heart and everybody else. And the awesome thing about Painkeeper is the fact that her heals are based on her max HP, okay? So as long as you build Painkeeper with good enough speed and then as much HP as you can get on her, you're gonna be sorted, you know? It did help me a little bit that I have Kaden as well that does the revives over here. But like I said, it's not mandatory as long as you have the Painkeeper. Even if you have to 6-star Painkeeper, so you can get more HP in there, so you can get more speed in there, it should work. And just in the Kaden spot, you'd bring somebody else that does some control. So if you have somebody like, what's her name? Luria. So if you have a Luria that has an 80% chance to freeze, well, she would be massive for this team because, well, you know what? You're just going to be freezing the... waves. Or if you have somebody else that does some cleansing, some healing. If you have a Psylar as well, like Psylar does some massive turn meter control, that would be really helpful for this team. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's mostly because of Mistrala. She's so good in this faction, it's just amazing. And another one that I'm using in here that maybe people don't know much about, that's Visionary. Well, Visionary has an interesting kit because she has an AoE turn meter boost on her A3 that puts increased crit rate and increased crit damage. And then on her A2, she has an AoE head that does decreased crit rate and decreased crit damage that, well, if you build in a stun set like I had, can bring you a little bit of extra control. And if you have decreased attack or decreased crit damage on the target, whenever she does the A1, she basically depletes the turn meter, you know? So that can be really good. She can be a really good help if you don't have better options. So like I said, I mostly used what I had, but it was made easy with Mistrala and with having a Reviver in there. If I did not have Kaden, well, like I said, I would have looked for something else, keep more control, maybe get another tanky champion in there that can do some control and bring a Guardian set. That's the key. If you cannot survive, and if you do not have Revival for your faction, it does not matter which faction it is, just use Guardian sets. That helps your champions heal up, and at the same time, it gives you some damage mitigation, which can go a long way. The Guardians are just massive. When I got to the boss part, my main focus was trying to control the ads, okay? I wanted to kill the ads first because they put block debuffs and they put what's it called, block damage, so that can make it a little bit tricky. And then at the same time, the boss is a bit annoying because he does this one. He does the AoE through fear, and then he does poisons, pushes back the turn meter, so he can be a problem. But with Mistrala, it just makes it so much easier. Whenever the boss does that, you just cleanse with a Rage 3 and you're good to go. Painkeeper keeps healing ourselves up, because every time you hit the boss, you get HP burn on yourself. Well, HP burn takes away, I think it's 7.5% of your HP, and then Painkeeper just comes and heals for like I said, 20% or even more, depending how much HP you pump on her. But she definitely, Mistral definitely makes this faction so much easier. I have a feeling that if you have a good enough roster, getting Mistral is easier than actually getting Lydia, because for Lydia you kind of need to build, you know, 5 champions for 5 factions that do all the job. Well, if you think about that, and if you think about doing Hydra instead, you just need 12 champions, okay? Instead of needing, what, 15 times 5, 75 champions, you just need 12 champions that can help you do normal and hard, because that's all I've been doing. I was doing normal and hard Hydra on this account, and that's how I got the fragments, okay? It took me like, what, 6 months? Even if it takes you 9 months to get there, I would say don't go too crazy pushing other champions that you might never use on your account to build for this faction, because Mistral is just gonna carry you there, okay? Mistral is just gonna carry you, and she's gonna make it so much easier. Obviously, if you have the Kaden Reviver, you're gonna invest in him. At level 50, he does the job just well. He brings AoE decrease attack, he brings provoke on the A1 apart from that revive, so he's definitely a massive one. But I really love the fact that I actually used 2 rares, you know, I used 2 rares in this team alongside the Mistrala, and as you can see, after I killed the boss, I was fine. Like, I did not take enough damage to make it a problem, and you know, I was either cleansing, either I was getting the heals back from Painkeeper, so this was never a problem. As soon as I got to the boss, I never worried. Even if somebody died, my Kaden was built in a region, so he could have survived, and he would have just come back and revived the person. Look at that heal again. That heal from Painkeeper is just huge. Keep in mind, do not sleep on Painkeeper for this faction. Even if you have your Painkeeper for a Bat Eater as an example, just regear her for this faction, get her to like 220, 230 speed, as much HP as possible in regen, and she's gonna come back to those skills pretty fast, and voila, this was the faction done. 9 minutes and 45, like I said, I had no worry, everything was just fine. The MVP was obviously Mistrala. Now let's have a look at the builds that I have. So I made a screenshot because I already changed the builds, because you know how it is with faction wars, you take your best gear from one to the other. So Colhar was in some random pieces in there. She's basically built to do some spider damage and nothing too special. Her stats were 206, only 70% crit rate, that's all I cared, and then damage, and then over 200 accuracy. With the lead from Mistral as well, you can even lower it if you want to. Then let me see, next one, Kaden, like I said, I have a regen and perception. I chose to go with perception because I wanted his decreased attack, and I also wanted a chance to provoke on the A1, which helped me. 203 speed, good HP, decent defense, and then the accuracy. So again, nothing too crazy. Keep in mind, Kaden is booked on the A3 but no masteries. Colhar is fully booked, she has masteries as well. Then Mistrala, she did not have masteries for this run, she was only booked, okay? I built her in a Guardian because that brought me some damage mitigation, brought me some heal for herself, and then perception. If you can get some revenge pieces, that can help, because every time she counterattacks, well, she puts 2 poisons. So that's definitely a massive help. And the stats I on her were 220 speed. I even gave her 100% crit rate because, apart from, you know, opposite to what you might think, Mistrala can actually hit. She can do some good damage if you build her to do damage, but you kind of want her to be tanky so she can put your debuffs, the debuffs, and keep your team alive. She has 240 accuracy as well. Then the next one's Painkeeper, like I said, Relentless plus Immortal. Again, Painkeeper was booked, but no masteries. I had no masteries on Painkeeper. She ran at 200 speed, 51k HP. Like I said, pump as much HP as you can. I don't care about accuracy, I don't care about resist. She did her job just fine. And then the last one in the team was Visionary. Like I said, Visionary I put in a stun set plus perception so she can land her debuffs. You do not need accuracy to land any debuffs from sets, so from stun set, toxic, sleep, provoke, keep that in mind. If you did not know, you do not need accuracy to land those. I just gave her accuracy because she has debuffs on her A2 and on her A1. That's why I chose to give her accuracy. She ran at 220 speed, survivability, and then accuracy. I did not care about the damage. The damage in this team came from Mistrala with her hex and poisons, and from Colhart. And I think that was about it for the team. So I really hope this is helpful for you guys. if you're stuck on this one, just keep in mind, get yourself the Mithrala, and as soon as you get Mithrala, Dark Elf Crypts, it's gonna be easy peasy, because Mithrala is one of those champions that you will 100% book, you will 100% give masteries, and you're 99.99% gonna use in most of your teams if you're a progressing account. Even if you're in endgame, I use my Mithrala on my main account on my Brutal Hydro team because she's just amazing. So yeah, that was the Dark Elf Crypt. The last ones that I will have to do are Shadowkin and the Sylvan Watcher. So basically on Monday, I should be finishing the Sylvan Watchers, and then what's that? Let me see. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and next Friday I should be finishing the Shadow King Crypt, and that will be it for this one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to finishing this. It's gonna be before I get Garage, so that's gonna be a massive milestone. That's gonna be what, almost 8 months in. That's definitely not so bad. And yeah, after I finish that, like I said, I will be giving this account away. So keep an eye out on my channel, because I'm still not decided when and how I'm gonna give this account away, but it has so much good stuff that whoever's gonna win it is definitely gonna be happy. But anyway, this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, don't forget to drop a like to this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.